Okay, hello people, this is Marcelo and I'm here planning my flight tomorrow from Paine Field to Tacoma Narrows in Washington State. Tacoma Narrows is southwest of SeaTac, the international airport of Seattle. Is parallel almost to the Louis McChord military base in Tacoma, where I'm planning to go afterwards for low passes in the runway. So it's a military base, but they want general aviation go without touching the runway, not touching the runway, just low passes, as many as you want. Last year we went to that place with Phong, my friend, with 5512 Echo. It's a Cessna 172. This time I'm going to use November 5490 Bravo, which is a Cessna 152. I'm going to open ForeFlight here, and before I'm gonna show you also, this is my iPad holder, which I showed in another video last year I made with all my gear, the gears I use for recording, for flying, for anything. When I am ready to fly, I turn on the ADSB here. This is a Sentry, which is a device that has also a sensor for CO2. I made this plan yesterday, but I'm gonna from scratch do it again. So I'm going to clear all this. I first go to Wunderground. It's a website that I use for planning my flight. Say, for example, I want to fly in a week now, and I don't know how the weather is going to be. So I go here and I see that Friday the 30th is going to be a nice day. It shows me also the cloud coverage. These gray areas are cloud and the blue ones are rain. And also the temperatures. I know that at 4 p.m. here is going to be 68 Fahrenheit on the 28th. The winds also 11 from the northwest, for example. So it gives me a picture more or less of how it's going to be. So I plan the flight and I reserve the airplane that day based on Wunderground. So then I go to SkyVector. SkyVector is a free website for pilots, and whoever can enter there and see. I have an account, it's free, and I'm going to Tacoma Narrows. But before, check on my airport. I'm based in Everett. So the NOTAMs are things that I will know the day I fly. Tomorrow, I'm going to call 1-800-WX brief, and you talk to a real person. This guy or woman tells you exactly what's the situation in the weather and in the airports also. And they ask you what type of aircraft do you fly, what time of the day you go, and how long it's going to be, what altitude you plan to fly. And so they will tell you at that altitude you will have winds in this direction, and if you are also at a certain altitude that you don't know that you're going to hit some airspaces here. For example, we have Bravo airspace from SeaTac from 6,000 to 7,000. There's a portion. I know that many people that watch my videos, they don't know much about aviation and they're curious about the scene, but I like to fly. But I like to fly in good weather and also to record beautiful scenes. And so these blue lines around SeaTac, which is the main airport here in Seattle. This is where you come to Seattle, you usually come to SeaTac. And then we have Paine Field here, and I love to fly there, and I leave always from Paine Field. That's my base airport. So I charted here a course to Tacoma Narrows. Tacoma Narrows is about 40 nautical miles to the south. And this is an airport where, I don't know if you ever came across in the 1940, the bridge that was built, it was lasted about 4 months and it fell because the winds made this bridge wiggle and fell, and then was reopened in 1950. And you can watch several videos in YouTube. And I'm gonna visit also, there's a restaurant there, Pie on the Sky or whatever it is. And so they close at 8 p.m. So I leave around 4 p.m. and go there and park the airplane, walk around, go eat something, and then fly towards Tacoma McChord Field. This is a military base. I went last year with my friend Phong, and we did 3 low passes. They are beautiful, amazing, friendly controllers. So I have here ForeFlight, and I have a subscription. It's not the top. Pay how much? $280 a year. It gives me weather, gives me also connection to the ADSB. If I go here and I go to Wi-Fi and I connect to Sentry, this device doesn't have ADSB right now because I'm inside. It doesn't work with the satellite. It works with antennas that are placed on the ground. Connected with Wi-Fi to this device, I have in ForeFlight all the airplanes around. So these blue lines are telling me that there's a airspace that in the SeaTac area from the ground to 10,000 feet is a class Bravo. Now, if I go outside, say for example in this area from 5,000 feet to 7,000, in this other area, I am 3,000 to 10,000 feet. So I have to fly below this unless I have permission from air traffic control to fly through class Bravo. And my plan here is I can do differently. I can write the denomination, and I have Paine Field. Now, this is a very cool feature. All these black lines, the center lines of the runways of that airport, is amazing because you can from the south chart a line to the airport, but you want to start a line into the center line long before maybe, and so this is a very nice feature. I love it. In this case, I see airplanes because of their GPS is connected to satellites, and that's why I picked with this. The next one, I can write here Kilo Tango India Whiskey if I want, but I don't want to right now. I want to do it this way. I poke the airport, Tacoma Narrows, and I can add 2 routes. So I have already a direct line. I can here go straight because I'm not hitting anything. If I go below here 3,000 feet, I can fly straight without touching anything, but I won't do that because I need to be aware that Paine Field has the center line and the traffic, mostly big airplanes from this area here. It's good to tell them, hey, I'm gonna fly through, and they're gonna tell me if I can and what altitude. But I don't want to do that because I can do it differently. I can just rubber band and cross the channel, and I poke on the coordinates. Okay, so I depart from Paine Field, and I climb, and this area is 4,000 feet to 10,000, so I fly below 4,000, or I can go directly to Kingston and then a straight line, and I can go to the south under the shelf 5,000 to 10,000. At this heading, I have to fly an even plus 500. So I'm gonna fly 3,500 to the south. I want to know information about this area here. So I have the meters. Tomorrow I will also call WX Brief for them to tell me anything that I don't know. If there's any NOTAM that I didn't realize because the runway might be closed. They might have some aprons that are inoperable. The tower's operative until 9 p.m. so I'm okay. And it tells me here, the ForeFlight translate all this information into Pacific. Here I have on the 23rd, 0153 Zulu is 1853. So a variable 5 to 15 knots at 10 statute mile visibility, clear sky, 18 Celsius, 64 Fahrenheit. And the altimeter 3008, and the humidity and the density altitude 673. Then I have the TAFs. Now I have the future here, the predictions, and I can also see tomorrow 23. The general thing is going to be 240 at 9 knots, From Tacoma, I'm going to go to Louis McChord, and I will add this to the route. I'm not going to fly direct because as I climb to the south, I have the center line of Tacoma Narrows runway. I'm going to rubber band this to more or less here. The tower will give me probably permission to change frequency and talk to McChord military base before I enter their space, because I have a Class Delta airspace up to 2,800 feet. So before I enter, I have to tell them, listen, I'm coming for low passes. Can you let me do it? In other words, and they will tell me yes or probably not. In that case, I just turn my head back and go back north. After McChord, I plan to go to Renton. Renton is the plant of the Boeing 737 in Renton. Boeing 737 is built here, so I add to the route. Now, if I go straight, they take my license away probably, because in this area where I would fly, we have Class Delta of SeaTac, the ground to 3,000, and also plus we have from the ground to 10,000 Class Bravo. So I can't fly through there because SeaTac airport has the arrivals and departures, the center line of their runways. So I change my route and I can fly over Auburn Airfield, and in this area I can fly, but I have to fly under 1,800 feet because there is a Class Bravo 1,800 feet to 10,000 feet in this area. It's like a wedding cake upside down. So if I don't want to do it because it's too low, 1,500 feet more or less, I just rubber band and I fly to here, and I have from Tacoma I fly to the northeast, then I head north. I want Auburn Airport visible to me because there's an airport there and there's traffic. This guy just took off probably, and so I want to see that. Then when I'm here, more or less, I talk to Renton Tower to give me a touch and go. I don't know winds, how they're going to be. Right now, for example, I have 220 at 9 knots. So the winds are coming from the southwest. And so the runway they would give me right now is 16. If I come this way, I will land here. Okay, like this guy now. They are landing here because the winds are coming from the south, and so they land against the wind to reduce ground speed. Then from here, I will go back to Paine Field. Enter. And so I have a direct route. The departures from Renton and from Paine Field are predetermined. We need to follow certain arrivals and departures. So in this case, they're going to give me coming from the touch and go. I get from here, I fly through here, I rubber band, and this is the Factoria departure. So we fly over the East Channel, which is this one, to this point, this intersection here. This is a mall, Factoria Mall, and then direct to Paine Field. We can do this. Say if I tap here, any place in the map, I can have the weather, WX, and I have from this moment to local time, say at 8 p.m., is VFR 10,000. And if I go ahead, I have on tomorrow, I will have 6 p.m. IFR. I have a marginal here, see? Oh, here ceiling is going to lower to 900. And then say Saturday is going to be all VFR and so on. The more I go in the future, the less precise is the forecast. So if I go, for example, here, and I go to this area in Tacoma, and I click weather, and it's going to tell me tomorrow is going to be VFR the whole time. It's going to be all no ceiling or 25K. The point here is I want to know the situations in Tacoma Narrows. So I have the NOTAMs, Seattle, TFR, because there's probably a game tomorrow. And these are the profile. I leave from Paine Field, Class Delta. This is Class Delta of Tacoma Narrows. If I go here, class Delta of McChord. If I go here, class Delta of Renton, and all below the class Bravo, we have a class Bravo on top. If I go to here, this is the class Bravo of SeaTac. See this section here, the Seattle 3,000 to 10,000. And if I go to this section, is the section that is 1,800 to 10,000, the one that I was talking before. I can't go there. So the profile gives me also the opportunity to check the different part of the class Bravo or whatever class is nearby that I'm gonna fly, and the elevation also. See this here. So I'm gonna fly with a 549 Bravo is already here. The altitude 2,500 and the time of departure 1,600. ForeFlight has also the plates. When I land, appears automatically. I have this Tacoma plate, so I have the taxiways. I probably will land, I don't know the winds, but anyways, 3517. Probably will park in this area here. And let's see, Renton, and the plates have the weather information, 80s, and Renton Tower, 124.7, and ground, if I ever taxi there. And then also ForeFlight has the log. This is the last flight I did. See this. This is where I had last month my 24-month review. This is automatically recorded. So I have here the altitudes and the speed. So if I push play, this is going to tell me where I went and what I did. So pretty amazing. All the flights that I've done. The last time I flew night for 3 full stops, and when we went to Whiskey 10 and so on. So then we go, and I hit this suitcase here, meaning that the system is gonna collect all the information, NOTAMs information, weather, air segments, and NOTAMs TFRs. So I will have all the information up to date here before I depart. All the information that I need, I also written here. See, you have here all the information in a paper. I will have this in my knee pad. I have in my knee pad my license. So I leave it in my knee pad because when I don't fly, I don't want to walk around with this license if I don't fly, because I might lose the wallet. And to remake this is a lot of paperwork, and the pain in the butt is not worth it carrying this around. I have my license and my medical here. So when I'm going to fly, I take it from here and I put it in my wallet, and I fly with this in my wallet. And then when I come back, I put it back here. So I have the checklist of the 152, all the information. So the knee pad is going to be always with me. So another thing I do, I always use, for me, I have 2 friends in the cockpit. Velcro. So if I need to put my knee pad here in my knee, I just put it here and it's not going to go anywhere. And this goes here actually. So this goes here actually. When I fly, you will see this, and if I need to pull this, it easily goes removes. And also I need to check on my headset, Zulu 3, amazing sensation. I love this thing. Also the batteries for the noise cancelling, and I just replace the batteries. Usually every 2 flights I replace the battery, I charge the whole batteries, and so I always have a fresh battery here, because if you lose the battery during flight, you just can't filter anything and you have a hard time to listen to whoever is talking to you. And also a set of batteries is here in my knee pad, and these batteries are 2800 mAh. I don't amperes, I don't know what that means, but anyways, they are rechargeable, so it lasts longer than the normal ones. When I fly, I always go to SkyVector. SkyVector is giving me also the information about the airports. that I'm going. So I know that Tacoma Narrows, I went there once when I was a student with my CFI. See, Tacoma Narrows has 295 feet of elevation. Pardon, altitude is 1,295, 1,300, so 1,000 feet above the ground. And runways 1735 is 5,000 feet, 100 feet wide. There's information that for all aviation. So for me, as a private pilot, I fly VFR. I don't need much of this information. But see, for example, if I come at night, the SeaTac frequency 118.5, with 3 clicks, I turn on low intensity, the lights of the runway. 5 clicks, medium intensity, and 7 clicks, high intensity. So the lights of the runway, when I'm on the airplane flying towards it, turn on. And they last for about 15 minutes. I had to do it a few times that I came at night, and so in many airports. So most of the airports have this. Then I go here. The attended here means if you need service to buy oil or maintenance. But the tower here is operative from 1600 to 400 Zulu. Here is going to be 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Class Delta from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. After these times become Class Echo. What else I use here? Here I have all the radios, the 80s, and I can call for ASOS, which is the same information. The command tower, the ground, the taxi is controlled by ground control. And so the Seattle approach, if I want flight following, I will turn this frequency 120.1. Unicom, if I want to ask fuel prices or services for airplane, I ask this. And you have also the public. Okay, so the manager and their phone number. If you want to call them, you can for whatever question that is not in this paper. Other remarks, no abatement, and deer on and in the vicinity of the airport. Be careful. And I don't remember what LAWRS is, operation during tower hours. And emergency, this is the standard emergency 120.5, and this is for clear delivery. I don't use it because I don't fly instruments yet. As I told you, I started last year my instrument training. I did 7-8 sessions in the air. Then I changed my mind because I went to Italy, Argentina for family for a month. And then when I came back, I decided to stop my training because it's not what I want to do right now. I want to enjoy flying in the good weather and shooting my videos flying in visual conditions. Okay, my friends, thank you very much. And this is going to be part of the videos of tomorrow. We may fly to Tacoma Narrows. And thank you for listening and watching. And this is Marcello Giuchini again, and talk to you soon.